Hey everyone, it's Mari, and Kelly and I are back this week with another challenge. This is the mood board that we use to create our layouts this week, and you can see that cute little picture of the giraffe at the bottom. I'm going to be using the pattern of the giraffes for an inspiration, and also the colors in this mood board, and that little black typewriter also is going to be part of what inspired me for our challenge this week. Now I'm also going to be using a sketch, and I'll show you that in a minute, but I really love this Jen Hadfield paper, and I decided that I wanted to use this paper for my layout because it has kind of what I thought looked like a giraffe pattern on it. So I am going to be using this sketch, and this is a Laura Whitaker sketch that I pinned on Pinterest, and I just thought that I would print it off here to show you. And I really love this sketch. It is quite simple, but yet has tons of possibilities, and I love the suggestions that are part of this sketch. I love Laura's sketches. They're some of my favorite sketches, and I have pinned a lot of them on Pinterest. So I was just really inspired by that sketch as well, so I wanted to incorporate that into my layout today. Now I'm going to just take this punch, and I am going to take some text paper, which is just a tissue paper from Hazel and Ruby, and I am going to cut out some circles. I'm cutting this out with some cardstock behind it because otherwise it doesn't cut properly if you've ever tried to cut tissue paper with a punch. And also I'm going to end up gluing that tissue paper to those cardstock circles, and I'm going to sew through them as well for some extra texture. So I'm just going to create these little embellishments, and that was just the inspiration from the mood board was the typewriter and the typing. I wanted to use some typing on some text print on my layout. And I also took the inspiration of that black combined with the aqua colors in the mood board. And so my color combo is going to be that aqua blue and black for the layout. Now I have taken my photos, and they aren't quite 4x6. They're sized down a tiny little bit, but they're generally the same, the kind of like the landscape look. And I've taken them and backed them or matted them just on some black textured cardstock. Now I'm taking a look at what other papers I can use for those two strips that were in that sketch. And I really like the idea of a text paper or pattern paper there, and that was actually suggested in the sketch. And I like that idea. The strip that I have here is a scrap of paper from Ellie's Studio, and I just love the sentiments that are on this pattern paper. Things like, you know, hello happiness, remember this, love life today, stuff like that, that really kind of went along with what I'm documenting here on this layout. Now in the sketch, it was also suggested that the paper behind the photographs has polka dots on it, and I really like that idea, but I didn't have any black with white polka dot, tiny polka dot paper. So I just took my gel pen, and I'm going to add little polka dots to the black cardstock. And I really like the effect that that creates. It's almost like a neutral paper, but it does add a little pop of detail that really makes my photographs jump off of that paper. Now, or off of the layout. Now I'm going to dismantle my layout at this point because nothing was stuck down. And I've decided that I want to add some ink to the edges of my paper just to make them stand out a little bit. So I'm taking my Tim Holtz inker, my Ranger tool there, and I'm just adding some black soot distressing to the edges of this giraffe paper. I will refer to it as giraffe paper, even though I really don't think that was the intent of the paper. I've also rounded the corners of that giraffe paper, and now I'm taking my other two strips of paper and I'm going to add the black soot to them as well. Now this one that I have here, I believe is a Heidi Swapp pattern paper, and I actually just got that out of my scraps, and I just like the idea of having a bold pattern besides that giraffe pattern and the text paper. So I really like the combination there. So I'm just going to layer these on the page as they're suggested in that sketch. I really love how those are placed on the layout, and I'm just offsetting them a little bit so that it just provides a little bit of interest. They're not just stacked on top of each other, and it just provides a little bit of nice layering in that way. And I'm going to just staple those on the right end. And now you can see that those polka dots are all finished on that black cardstock. And I'm going to just place the photographs over to the left of the giraffe paper a little bit, just so that the giraffe paper is poking out on the right edge there a little bit. I'm going to just set those up a touch on those strips so that the strips are kind of grounding the photos a little bit. And now I'm going to take this piece of journaling ephemera. This was from, I think maybe Maggie Holmes Confetti or something. It's an older piece that I just had in my stash. I also took a tag and I traced around it and created this little gold foil tag because I just wanted a little bit of pop of gold here and there on the layout, just as an addition. It wasn't part of the mood board or anything like that. I just liked how that looked as a little bit of extra shine on the layout. Now those are those little circles that I punched out of the text paper, and you can see that I've sewn through them, and you can see how the top of that sketch is finished off. Now it looked to me like it was either a strip of pattern paper, obviously, or more likely the suggestion was some washi tape. And I did have this black and white polka dot washi tape in my stash, and I really like how that looks. And it does bring the polka dot theme back up to that top there and just adds a little bit of weight to the top of the layout, which is nice. And I'm going to just take that little chipboard frame and add that to the top. Now what I'm journaling about and documenting here is how much we love to play games, and especially we like to play dominoes as a family. I have a really lovely set of dominoes that my mom brought me back from the States one year. She and my dad used to spend the winters in Arizona. And she brought me back this game of dominoes, and we just have played it. And mom and dad both really love to play dominoes. And so that's where we kind of started. Now, dominoes typically can have, obviously have dots on them unless they're blank ones. And I just thought that it was kind of fun to put those numbers there just to denote the, the idea of numbers in the game of dominoes. And they're black, so they do pop off of that really nicely, and they fill in that space in that frame nicely at the top. I just put a little Brad at the top there too. I think that's from Simple Stories. It has that aqua color to it again, and it just is a nice little embellishment for that on top of that frame. Now I'm just going to pop my photos up on some foam tape here, and I'm going to take each one of those little circles that I've created there and put a little bit of foam adhesive on the backs of those just to pop those up a little bit. And then my layout is going to be almost finished. I'm going to do a little bit of journaling on my journaling card. I'm going to add a little bit of gold thread to my tag. And I'm also going to add a title in some black polka dot alphas from Felicity Jane. And my title is going to be Dominoes. Pretty simple. Not rocket science. You can tell I'm running short of time these days, can't you? I actually am so busy right now that my head is about to spin off, I'm pretty sure. But I know a lot of you can relate to that. So I'm so thrilled that you were able to stop by today and check out our challenge. Kelly and I have both been really swamped and have had lots of things going on, so we haven't been able to post as often as we'd like to, but we are up and at 'em this week, and we have this posting for you, so we're excited. Make sure you go over and check out Kelly's video. I am going to leave the link in the description below. Take a look. This is the finished layout. I'm going to slow things down here for you to check it out, and you can take a look at the still shots. This is a really simple layout. I put more journaling on the back there, you can see. And it's just fun documenting a fun family time that we've had together and often have together when we play games and all that sort of thing. Hey, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.